So see now we are talking about a dispersion of light. Dispersion of light, white light by a glass prism. What is called as this dispersion of light? Dispersion is nothing else but whenever a white light is being converted into a Vibgyor color, different colors, that thing we call it as a dispersion of light. Excuse me, just be online. I'm holding this one. So CMM. Now we'll try to see about the dispersion of white light. What is meant by dispersion? As I told just now, dispersion means whenever a white light is being converted into the Vibgyor colors or different colors of the Vibgyor, this conversion pattern only we call the process of converting a white beam light into a Vibgyor colors or different colors. Though that process we call it a dispersion. Okay, fine. So see now, if this is my prism, whatever I explained just now, if the white light strikes over here, then it has to be refracted over here. This is the let me assume it as this is an incident ray, light ray. Then inside this prism, it becomes as a refracted ray, and afterwards it comes out of the prism, that becomes as an emergent ray. Whatever the Vibgyor we see, those are nothing else but the emergent rays of a single white beam color. But these emergent rays will be at the different frequencies and wavelengths. Because of that different frequencies and because of different wavelengths, they appear as to be in different colors. So that is a simple explanation of what is meant by dispersion. So see now, when a beam of light is passed through a glass prism, it is splitted up. It is split up into a band of colors called as a light spectrum. What is a spectrum? Light spectrum is nothing else but it is a band of different colors whenever a white light has got split into different bands of colors. So that is called as a spectrum. So now, this splitting of light, this splitting of white light into different colors is called as a dispersion of white light. Dispersion of white light is what? It is a splitting of white light into different band of colors, which is that different band of colors only we call it as a spectrum. Then the spectrum of white has colors like violet. First V means violet, I means indigo, then blue B means blue, G is green, yellow, orange, and last comes your red. So that's how, since this all the colors has come over here, this band of colors we call it a spectrum. This band of colors we call it a Vibgyor, right from bottom to top. Vibgyor, Vibgyor. It's in the bottom to top. So it's called, because a white light has been splitted into different colors, it is called as a Vibgyor. Then coming to this point, the red light, so see now, this is the most important one. The red light bends the least, and the white and the violet light bends the most. You can see now the bending of the light, which I named it as emergent ray. Emergent ray, the ray which bends, the emergent ray which bends very little, or the emergent ray which bends very leastly, that ray we call it as a red color. The emergent ray which bends a lot, that ray we call it as a violet. So this we are supposed to understand. Red, the bending angle of this one, bending for the red is very less, whereas the angle of this emergence is more for the violet. So this is about what is called as Vibgyor and what is called as dispersion and what is called as a spectrum. So I hope it's clear to you this part. Then now let us enter into the next topic. So even this slides talk about the same thing. A white light, a single white light beam or white beam light is being converted or splitted into different colors, and this colors only we name it as a spectrum. The band spectrum, what is the definition of spectrum? Spectrum means it's a band of different colors. It's a band of colors which is called as a spectrum. So what colors does the spectrum has got? All these colors: violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange, and red. Right from bottom to top, if I take the first letters of these colors, it will be called as a Vibgyor color. Okay, so this is about how the light has got splitted into different. One light has got split into different colors. Can you all hear to me? I need one to respond.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Okay, ma'am. Yeah, see you now. Now let us see the next part. The next part is about recombination of a spectrum. Recombination of spectrum of white light, which produces again a white light. What is actually this means here? Whenever you take the two prisms and those two prisms have been kept in the two fashions, what are the fashions which have been shown in the slide? If you put the two prisms in this fashion, what happens first? A white light which enters to the first prism, it will be converted into VIBGYOR over here. Red has got the less bending, violet has got the more bending. Then afterwards, if you are trying to make this VIBGYOR colors, this is now the VIBGYOR color. Here we'll be having a VIBGYOR color which is called as a spectrum. So now, if you try to make the spectrum of light to pass through another prism in this fashion, then what happens? Those also will enter through the prism, and ultimately you will be getting again a white light. So this is a process which talks about how a white light can again reconverted into white light by using the two prisms. Okay, I hope it's clear to you. One prism, with the help of one prism, if the refraction takes place to the white light, it will produce as the spectrum colors. That is called as VIBGYOR. But now, if you're trying to make the VIBGYOR colors to pass through the spectrum, again it will try to produce as a white light. So see now, when a beam of white light is passed through a glass prism, it splits up into components of colors. What is a components colors? It is called as a spectrum, band of colors. Component of colors, or it is also called as band of colors. Now, when these components of colors, when these band of colors, or when this spectrum colors are allowed to fall on an inverted glass prism in this fashion, I told you, in order to get a VIBGYOR, you're supposed to put your glass prism in this fashion. And if you want to reconvert that VIBGYOR into white color again, you're supposed to put an inverted prism. It has to be in the upside down. When these colors are allowed to fall on an inverted glass prism, it will recombine those all. It will recombine means what? It will bring all the VIBGYOR colors to one single color. That single color is nothing else but the white color. So this is how we call, this is what we call recombination. Recombination means what? First, if a prism is kept out, through that prism, you'll be passing a single white color, and that prism, whenever the white color passes through this first prism, let me name it as first prism and second prism, this will produce as a band of colors. And those band of colors is called as a spectrum. Then again, if you are using a second prism which is having inverted nature of that prism, means which has kept in the upside down, then if you pass this VIBGYOR colors through this one, what happens here? All this VIBGYOR colors, see now, from red to violet, there are many different colors, right? We have seen it in the previous slide. From red to violet, there are many these colors: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. All these are in between this gap, red and violet. All these colors are reunited, recombined at one particular point over here. At this point, it is recombined and it comes out as a single white color. And this process of combining all the VIBGYOR colors with the help of an inverted prism, we call it as a recombination of a spectrum of white light. And again, it produces us a white light. So this is how we produce a white light from another white light. So this is called recombination of a spectrum. Then next one, rainbow formation. So see now, how does the rainbow formation? Let us see now. We know that this rainbow formation, we know that this rainbow formation is what? It is a natural spectrum. Rainbow formation, we are not making it as a artificially, right? It's a natural spectrum. So now the rainbow is a natural spectrum appearing in the sky after the rain showers. We see especially rainbows. Most of the time we see it in the after the rains, or else sometimes we see it without the rains also, even in the gloomy days. It is caused by how the rainbow is caused. It is caused by the same phenomenon what we have studied in the previous slide, with the phenomenon called as a dispersion. Dispersion means what? Splitting of one light into different colors. So let us see how does it happens. It actually happens here. We have taken a prism into consideration. Here we have taken a prism into consideration. But in the rainbow, what happens? The raindrop becomes as a prism there. In order to make a rain, in order to get that rainbow formation, that happens because of the raindrop. So see now. It is caused by dispersion of sunlight by the water droplets present in the atmosphere. How this dispersion is happening here? Here, whenever the white light or the sunlight passes through the raindrop also has got the layers, right? One is outside, which is at air to the rain droplet interface, and again from rain droplet to air interface. So there are two kinds of interfaces. What I'm talking with the rain droplets. So see, I'm talking about these interfaces. I'm talking about air glass prism, glass interface, and here glass to air interface. If I'm having a rain droplet here like this will now, if light is traveling, this becomes as air and rain droplet interface. And again, here it will be droplet and air interface. There are how many interfaces are there? There again, ultimately, there will be two interfaces. Interface means what? It's the junction point where the ray passes between the two media. Interface is nothing else but it's a junction point between the two media. What are the two media here? First media is air, and the second medium is a droplet, water droplets. So, CM. The water droplets acts like small prisms. Just now I told you, right? Your water droplet will act as what, ma? Small prisms. They refract and disperse the sunlight, then reflect it internally, and finally refract it again. The same process what you have studied in the prism, we are talking here now. First, the water drop light travels into the water droplets. The refracted ray will be there inside that one. Then after that, the reflected ray comes out of that one. That ray which comes out of the rain droplet is called an emergent ray. That emergent ray on rays only will be acting as a spectrum or the Vibgyor colors that comes out of the rain droplets. Due to this, the dispersion of sunlight through the water droplets, and also the internal reflection is taking place over here. Due to the internal reflection and the dispersion of light by the water droplets, we see the rainbow colors. So I hope now it's clear to you how the rainbow is formed. So see now, we are having this water droplet over here. The sunlight falls over here, and the sunlight after that one, it goes and falls upon this rain droplet. And here internal reflection is taking place. Internal reflection means what? The reflection happens in the same media I told. If now this becomes as your incident ray, and this becomes as your reflected ray. So due to this internal reflection, the reflection is happening in the same media. That's why it calls internal reflection. That Vibgyor color will strike the other boundary of the water droplet, and after that they come out of this water droplet. That what we call the refraction. Here the refraction takes place internally. Internal reflection takes place. So all the Vibgyor colors will go through a process called internal reflection, and after that one, the internal reflection means what? It is bouncing back. Reflection means what? What's the definition of reflection? It's a bouncing back of a ray. So now the rays which interact with this water droplet, they bounce back in some other direction. That bouncing back of rays, Vibgyor colors inside a water droplet is called as a internal reflection. That rays which has bounced back inside this water droplet, they come out of that water droplet, which we call the process as a refraction. And because of this refraction, we can see different colors, again, between red and violet. And that spectrum only we call it as a rainbow. And if the observer, if we as a human being or the observer is standing over here, we look into the sky, it looks like a rainbow color. So this is the entire process about how does a rainbow is formed. So see now, white light entering into the water droplet. Here, this is a what is this one? Vibgyor color. That Vibgyor color strikes the water droplet inside. Because of that one, the bouncing back of all this rays takes place. That bouncing back of rays inside a water droplet we call as an internal reflection of this Vibgyor color inside a water droplet, and that rays comes out of the water droplet into the air, which we call refraction. After this refraction only, we find again the Vibgyor colors, which we call it as a rainbow. So this is how the rainbow looks like. The next one.